Hi, guys. Welcome back to another episode of the Voces del Coqui podcast. Today, we are going to actually do a Spanglish episode. So, bilingualism. Yay! So, so today, we have Diego. Y Diego es una persona a la que entrevistamos para una revista llamada Albricias. Entonces, Diego, ¿cómo te sientes en la revista Albricias?
En la revista de Albricias me sentí muy feliz que lo hicimos y me sentí muy orgulloso. Fue una experiencia muy increíble. Estoy muy agradecido que me invitaron a mí.
Yo quiero hablar sobre sus sentimientos en el proceso. Cuéntanos más sobre esto.
El proceso fue algo extraño. Me sacaron de mi mi última clase de inglés, y fuimos a otra clase a grabar, pero no terminamos. Y entonces, cuando volví a mi casa y me llamaron y me dijeron que necesitara completar más cosas, fue un proceso un poco más difícil, pero todo fue bien.
And how did you feel about working with another person? Who was the person you worked with again?
I work with Carlos, and that process was really good. I really enjoyed it. I feel like we laughed and made a lot of jokes. It was really fun, and it was a good experience to have.
Okay, cool. También quiero hablar sobre los temas del episodio. So, what are some of the things you mentioned in the episode? And I think one of the main topics was immigration, which was the topic of the magazine. So, can you maybe recap on what you talked about mostly?
So in my previous episode, I talked about immigration and my thoughts on the immigration process, as well as my parents and the struggles that they went through. Like when they came here, they had to meet new people, started a whole new life, basically.
Y Diego, ¿por qué decidió su familia emigrar a los Estados Unidos?
Mi familia decidió emigrar aquí a Estados Unidos por más oportunidades, porque allá en México no tenían tanta oportunidad a ganar dinero y cosas así. Entonces vinieron acá a encontrar trabajo y mejorar sus vidas.
And maybe could you elaborate on what your family did in Mexico versus in the United States?
Vinieron aquí mis padres aquí cuando tenían como 18 años. No han trabajado todavía antes de que vinieron acá. Entonces cuando vinieron acá empezaron a trabajar. Agarraron trabajos pequeños, no tan grandes que ganaron mucho, pero fueron trabajos.
So you said that they do like small work in Mexico for not a lot of money, and then at 18 they immigrated here. So what does your family do now for work in the United States?
Okay, so my mom, she stays here. She's a stay-at-home mom, and then my dad does construction.
Diego, are you going to do construction when you grow up?
I'm not considering that as a field that I'm interested in right now. Right now, I'm going probably to do something with business and finance, but maybe I might get into construction maybe when I'm older.
Okay, yeah, sure.
Diego, do you think you will ever go back to Mexico, maybe for work, or stay in the United States?
I probably won't go back to go find work. I might go back occasionally to go visit family, but I don't see myself going back there to find work.
Do you think you may do like study abroad or anything in college?
As of right now, I do not plan on doing that. I plan on just staying here.
If you ever did consider studying abroad, where would you go? Would you go to Mexico, or do you think you'd go somewhere else? Like maybe in South America, maybe outside of it? Where do you think you would go?
If I did have to go and study or go to a college somewhere else, I probably would choose like Mexico, because I do have family over there. So it would be much easier to just go over there and stay with my family. Maybe my family has some friends that I could go and they could become my friends. So yeah.
Yeah, you speak the language too, so you know.
And then also, Diego, kind of moving back towards the immigration topic, could you maybe talk about the changes that your family faced when they first immigrated to the US?
Some of the changes that they faced were like learning a new language for them. It's like they only knew really Spanish, maybe a little bit of English at the time. So learning how to speak a new language is a challenge they had to do. Meeting new people, finding jobs, they had to just build a whole new life over here. So yeah.
So Diego, I also know that you talked a little bit about ICE in the Albricias episode. So we have a little bit of current news on the topic. So a news channel called 11 Alive also mentioned that there's a new Georgia ICE facility that could open as close as May.
All right, everybody, we have new information on this ICE detention facility about 50 miles outside of Atlanta. I've talked about it on here in Social Circle. It could open as early as May. That is what we are hearing. And we're getting this from a statement from the city of Social Circle. They put out a statement because city leaders say that they finally met with the DHS. Keep in mind, they said that they had not met with DHS before they found out about this facility, before DHS purchased this property, this big warehouse in Social Circle. But now they say they finally met with DHS. So according to this statement, this site in Social Circle would be one of 8 mega ICE detention centers across the country. We're talking about a facility that could house between 7,500 to 10,000 detainees and employ about 2,500 people to run this facility. Social Circle, the entire town, about 5,000 people live there. We also know from this statement that DHS plans to award a construction contract with a build-out timeline of just 60 to 75 days. Intake, like I said earlier, possibly starting in May.
So we were wanting to get your perspective on that.
I think it's like sad that they're doing that. It's going to really hurt a lot of families, and some it could even separate some families. I feel like it could also hurt or impact the community. And I think it's a shame that instead of toning it down, they're making more facilities.
Yeah, no, for sure. I really do agree with that point of view, especially because I saw a statistic recently from the Federal Reserve Bank of San Francisco. The net migration of people going from their home country to America itself, it's gone down from 2.2 million people in 2024 to like 500,000 in 2025. I believe it's because of the expansion of ICE facilities being made. So what are your thoughts on those numbers? You know, do you think that do you think that number, do you think it's good? Do you think it's bad? Do you think, like, let me think about how to phrase that, right? Do you think it's like good or bad? Because, you know, I do think as well, some people could argue like, oh, overall immigration is going down, but is it really for the right reasons? So what are your thoughts on that?
In my opinion, I think it's bad because it could cause a lot of damage to people. I think that people should have the right to move to a different country if they want to. Depending on their situation, they might want to live a better life. So maybe like financially, they want to move to work a better life, or maybe just their situation in their home country, it might just be bad. So they just want to move. And I think that is a valid reason to move.
Yeah, for sure. I agree, especially with the homeland situation, because Dallas and I, we've interviewed multiple people from different countries, and we've even done research on the side with those countries, and especially like with politics, because I know a lot of people in America, we say, oh, Trump and our current political situation is not good. And I know like Peru, especially, they don't feel good about a lot of their presidents in the past. So yeah, homeland for sure. And like, don't you think as well, like with like what if, you know, like what if I know someone in America and I want to visit them, you know?
Yeah. If I want to, like, for example, if my family from Mexico wants to visit me, they should be able to. They should be able to come spend some time with me, and yeah.
Yeah, you're in America as well, so I mean, yeah, for sure, I agree with all that. So, all right, Dallas, it's time to close the episode.
Thank you, Diego, so much for coming on the episode, and make sure everyone to check out his episode on the Albricias in the March issue.
Thank you guys so much for having me. I really enjoyed it here. You guys should check out the Albricias magazine in March. It's going to be really good.
Yeah, I'll leave a link in the description as well. It's not out. It's not out yet because like this is still February, but I'll leave a link in the description as well to check out their other issues so you can get an idea of what Albricias is actually about. All right, bye, Diego.
Bye-bye.
Todos a una.
Todos a una.
All right, we got that. All right. Good episode, everybody. Oh,